Hey, what's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to tell you a crazy prison story. This thing happened in Bayside State Prison in Leesburg, New Jersey. It happened before I was there, but I was housed in the same exact place where it occurred. And I have friends, three of them, one of which was directly involved in a class action lawsuit that resulted because of this. So what happened was there was one CO that was working the cell block by himself. He had a problem with an inmate. This particular inmate was a gay guy, and he was locking in with his gay lover. So, him and his lover were cellmates for a long time. This CO, in order to fuck with this guy, decided to move him. So he comes on to his shift. He tells the guy, "Pack your shit. You're leaving." And obviously, the gay guy didn't want to leave his lover, and it was a huge thing. He took it personally. He went and grabbed the fucking shank, started chasing the CO around the room, and stabbed the shit out of him in the back. Killed him by stabbing him in the back. All right, left him dead right there. What happened next was that all of fucking the surrounding areas, special ops, SWAT guys, the goon squad we call them, came in busloads to this prison in Leesburg, and they all were fucking blacked out, wearing their riot gear, and they were wearing masks, and they all removed all of their ID tags, so no one was able to identify who was who, and they came in and fucking tortured everybody there. They put the prison in lockdown for a month, and they just fucking beat the shit out of people and abused people like you would never believe. Some of the things that were reported to have happened, I went through the same exact thing in that same prison. One of my friends who was involved in that lawsuit actually got paid by the state years later when it was proven that this actually happened. And his story was, that the guards just beat the shit out of him for no reason, dragged him like a fucking animal on the ground over gravel and rocks for such a long fucking stretch that it ripped all the skin and disfigured his body all on his back and his butt, the back of his legs, everything. And this guy was a fucking harmless guy. He was not, a big guy, a fucking dangerous convict. And they fucking did this guy real wrong and dirty. This was a very big thing. There were a lot of investigations that happened, but basically the grievance reports that the inmates were writing were all being intercepted. And if you did write a grievance report or drop a note, those guards would come in and beat the fuck out of you because of it. Anyone who tried to call out and it was heard, because they're listening and monitoring all your phone calls that you were saying what was happening there or complaining or trying to reach the media, they got their fucking asses stomped out and got beat also. There was a time where an investigation concluded by Internal Affairs that said that nothing happened. They were all lies and none of this ever happened. The FBI got involved because there was a class action lawsuit filed by many inmates who were involved and fucking hurt bad during this thing. And when the FBI got involved years later, it was found that, these COs did do this shit, and it did happen. None of them were punished severely for it. None of them got prison time for it. I don't think any of them even lost their jobs for it. But they beat the shit out of people in there. They also made people go to the gym and be on their knees kneeling on a concrete floor for hours and hours at a time. If any of them moved, they would beat the shit out of them. People were pissing on themselves. That exact thing happened to me. I mentioned it in one of my older videos in that exact prison. They did shakedowns and they fucking took us to the gym for 8 hours and made us stay on our knees. And they told us flat out, anybody fucking move, anybody make a fucking sound, you fucking raise your hand, anything, we're going to drag you the fuck out of here and stomp the shit out of you. We are going to fuck you up and hurt you. Just like that. And nobody fucking moved. And it was just an example of what happened. But worse than that are multiple reports from people that were there that those fucking goon squad guys came in and formed a gauntlet, okay, like a wall on two sides of themselves with nightsticks and made the inmates run through it and beat them as they fucking ran through it. Now, this is fucking crazy. You know, this is a crazy thing to think about. People don't believe shit like this happens, but this is very well documented. This was a publicized thing. It happened in 1997. So you can check it out and see and read all about it. This was huge. There were a lot of people involved. Ultimately, my friend who got fucked up and dragged like that ended up getting $17,000 as part of that class action lawsuit. That was his part, which was nothing for what they did to him. These places are dangerous, guys. These prisons are fucking dangerous. And there's a handful of them that are in South Jersey, in fucking middle of nowhere. And those are the ones where the fucking most dangerous conditions exist with regard to the guards. They are racist as fuck. And I was in all three of those that were down there that had those kind of guards. The guards that took part in this, they were shipped out to another prison called Southwoods, which I also had to do time in, and it was just like unbelievable. You're in another fucking world when you belong to Department of Corrections and are in their custody. They could fucking kill you at any time. I know of people who were killed while in custody. I know of cover-ups that happened, and it's just fucking crazy. You know, these are things that people would not believe occur in America, but they do. And they do very often, every single day, in somebody else's fucking cage. So I hope you guys understand that my point in telling this story is to shed light on the horrors that could happen while you're in jail and prison. It's not to take sides and say who was right or wrong. Thankfully, thank God, I was never brutalized like that by prison guards. I was as a juvenile in juvenile detention. It's a different story. But, you know, that's what it is, guys. It's a fucked up place. It's dangerous, and you never know. The same way this fucking gay guy decided to kill this cop, and those cops decided to fucking attack back and retaliate with brutality and torture and a month-long lockdown. You never know how people are going to react. So be cautious, guys, and stay the fuck out of prison and jails. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.